Can an airliner jet be operated by a single pilot? Okay, so in today's video we are going to read an article that I went through, that I saw a few days ago, and then I read the article, okay, and it was very interesting. So in today's video we're gonna go through the article that I read, okay, and we're gonna discuss, and then at the end of the video I'm gonna give you my 2 cents, what I think about what they are tasting. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. V1 rotate. Hi there, I'm Gabriele from PILOTCLIMB.com. I help you to become a better pilot. So if this is what you want to do, consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to support my job, please give it a like to the video. Today's video, guys, is a little bit different. What I mean by that, we're gonna go through an article that I read a few days ago where they were talking about the test that the EASA is performing in order to see if an airliner jet can be operated by a single pilot, because as you know by now we need 2 pilots to operate an airliner jet, okay, a commercial jet, okay, that's why we've got these multi-pilot aircraft, okay, like the Boeing 737, the Airbus A320, for example. You always saw that there was a captain and a first officer, a captain, a co-pilot, 2 captains, so there were 2 pilots there. But in this article they're actually analyzing and see if the airliner jet can be operated by a single pilot. So I went through the article already, I highlighted the important things. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna go through the article, we're gonna read the important stuff from my point of view, okay guys, and then at the end of the video I'll tell you what I think about this. So let's have a look. So guys, first of all, this is an article from EURACTIV, okay, .com website, okay. This article was written by this gentleman, Sean Godling Carroll. I hope I pronounced it correct, okay. So this article is around 1 month old, was updated on 30th of September 2021, okay. So as you can see already from the title, says pilot alarms over Airbus plans for single pilot aircraft, okay. So this is really the main focus of the article, to see what's going on with these things, okay, to see if a single pilot can operate an airliner jet, okay, in a passenger's operations, okay. So what he's saying is, improvement in automation technology may soon eliminate the need for a co-pilot in commercial flights, a disruptive development that has already sparked criticism from pilots and cabin crew groups on safety grounds, okay. So guys, again, I'm not here to say this is right, this is wrong. I will tell you what I think about all of this at the end of the video. However, let's read it with open mind, okay? Under current EU regulation, at least 2 pilots must be present within the cockpit of a commercial flight. But new aircraft being developed by Airbus, the world's largest aircraft manufacturer, are capable of a high degree of automation, reducing pilot workload, okay? So guys, it is very important, as you know, okay, the aircraft are getting more and more reliable. They are getting, the automation of the aircraft are always better, okay, are improving a lot. So this is what is happening, especially in the Airbus, according to this article, okay, is that they are trying to see if the automation of the aircraft will really help the pilots to reduce even more the workload in order to make sure that they can be safely operated with a single pilot, okay. So since the beginning of commercial aviation, each successive generation of aircraft has become increasingly automated, and this automation has contributed to a step change in efficiency and safety, an Airbus spokesperson told EURACTIV, okay. So guys, it's very clear, okay, that's basically the automation are helping the operations, are making sure that the operations are always safer and more efficient, okay. The principle for our work in single pilot operation is that humans will make strategic decisions. Autonomy is there to support, enabling pilots to focus less on aircraft operation and more on mission management, the spokesperson added, okay. So guys, in here I want to stop for a second, because we need to understand, guys, that depending on the operation of the aircraft, the pilot's operation changes as well, okay. So in my career I've been flying for a skydiving center, so I was flying the aircraft for the skydivers, okay. We were climbing and then the skydivers were jumping out of the plane and I was landing, okay. The faster the better, because we were trying to save fuel all the time. But what I want to say is that These type of operations, I was really flying the plane from the morning to the evening. So that was an operation from my side as a pilot, that I was just focused on flying the plane very hard. So because everything was done manually, the hand flying was really the most important thing. Okay. However, guys, when I arrived on a Boeing 737, I started flying as an airline pilot, first as a cadet, then as a captain, instructor, or whatever. The thing changed completely, because then when you fly in an airline environment, okay, you have a lot of things to consider, a lot of things to do, because you're flying with a lot of passengers, you've got a lot of regulations, you really need to think about the noise, for example, you need to think about a lot of weight and balance, because that makes really the big change, you need to think about time management. There are a lot of things that you need to consider when you're flying as an airline pilot, okay? And what happens is that if you use the autopilot with a full automation, you will see that you will fly less the plane as an airline pilot, but you will grow up as a flight manager. Okay, so you will be required to manage the flight a lot, and fly the plane, you will fly the plane less. Okay, so this is really the true difference, because there are some jobs, such as the skydiving that I've been flying, where you were really focused on flying the plane from the beginning all the way down to the end, and on the airliner, you still need to know how to fly the plane very nicely and safely. However, there is a big aspect, which is the management of the flight. Okay, so you need to think about delays, you need to think about any aircraft malfunction. There are a lot of things that you need to consider, and that's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say here is that because the aircraft are getting better and better, safer and safer, the pilots have more and more automations. Okay, what will happen is that they are trying to see if a single pilot can operate a commercial airliner, because the only thing that it has to do, supposedly, is to think about how to manage the flight properly. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay. Now it says regulation approval. Two scenarios are currently being discussed with European Union Aviation Safety Agency, EASA. I'm sure you are aware of the EASA, okay? The EU Flight Regulatory Authority extended minimum crew operation and single pilot operations. Okay, what they are trying to see if this single pilot can be actually regulated and approved, basically the green light, in these two types of operations, extended minimum crew operation and single pilot operations. Okay, under the former, okay, one pilot would occupy the cockpit during no critical portion of the flight, such as while cruising, while the other pilot rests. Okay, so the extended minimum crew operations, guys, that means that one pilot will stay there in the flight decay long during cruise, okay, which is not a critical phase of flight, while the other pilot will rest. Okay, the pilot will then alternate with one another, a scenario likely to be used during ultra long haul flights, okay, where one pilot rests and the other one manage the cruise. Okay, under the later, so this single pilot operation, and this is very important, guys, only one pilot will be on board, including during takeoff and landing. In this scenario, the plane will be empowered to fly itself during periods where pilot was away from the cockpit, such as during toilet breaks. So as you can see, guys, they are trying to see if we can regulate and give the green light to the extended minimum crew operation as a single pilot, okay, during cruise, okay, and on top of that, they're trying to see if this single pilot operation can be extended for the whole flight, okay, so from the takeoff all the way down to the landing, okay. Contacted by EURACTIV, okay, EASA said that the new concept will only be approved if they provide an equivalent or higher level of safety to the two pilot requirement currently in effect. Okay, of course, the EASA is saying, okay, let's see if that is possible. However, we will never approve such an operation until we can really prove and test that this single pilot operations actually has the same level of safety or a higher level of safety. Okay, so this includes dealing with situations in which the pilot is incapacitated, verify the technology's ability to manage and correct errors, and addressing the potential for pilot fatigue. okay? Because guys, one of the main things operating as a true pilot, okay, is that you need a cross-check regardless of your experience, okay? And so I've been flying the Boeing 737 for more than 12 years, and you cannot imagine how many times a first officer with a lot less experience than me gave me a cross-check and told me, Gabriel, you are making, look, can you confirm that, because maybe I was making a mistake, because we are all humans, guys. So regardless of your level of experience, you will make mistakes for sure. Of course, the higher your level of experience, the smaller will be your mistake, but you will still make a mistake, and that's why we've got two people in there, because one is cross-checking the other one, okay? So beautiful. And that is actually what I'm trying to see, if all of these things, okay, this multi-pilot, this cross-checking can be actually solved, okay, if the aircraft can actually help the single pilot there to operate, to do the operations, okay? Then in here is, let's see what the cabin crew groups are saying, okay? Pilots and cabin crew groups, so both groups, okay, have come out strongly against any move to reduce staff levels, arguing that technology is unable to replace human creativity and problem solving in an emergency situation, okay? So pilots and cabin crew groups are against this movement for the moment, okay? The most important question is whether flying with less pilots on board can be done safely. For time being, neither the regulation nor the manufacturer have shown this could improve flight safely, okay? So it says Jean de Bruges, president of European Cockpit Association, okay, told to EURACTIV. So what they are saying is that now, for the moment, nobody has ever proved that an aircraft system, the automation of the aircraft system can actually replace the pilots on board, okay? European pilots do not support reduced or single pilot operation during any phase of the flight, it added, okay? De Bruges, I hope I pronounced correct, okay, recalled an accident of a British Airways flight in 1990 during which the cockpit window broke, causing the pilots to be partially blown out of the aircraft. Cabin crew held the pilot for 20 minutes while the co-pilot safely landed the plane, okay? So this is a very famous incident that I'm sure you're aware of, okay? Then, in the future, no second pilot will be available to save the day. Manufacturers want to replace the second pilot with a ground operator who will not provide the same level of safety as a human pilot on board. Okay, this is the perspective of the pilot groups, okay, of cabin crew and pilot groups, okay. All in all, everything points in the direction of eliminating pilots from the cockpit as a purely commercial driven goal. An effort to fly more at zero cost is said. So what are saying the group of pilots and cabin crew is that we are trying to do this, we are trying to go on a single pilot to basically make sure that the cost of the airline operation will be reduced, okay, to save money basically, in compromising the safety. That's their point of view, okay. Airliners have been trying to reduce crew and increase passenger seats on board of the aircraft for years. These developments are cost driven, and then is Groenveld told to EURACTIV, okay, so I hope I pronounced this name correct, okay. So this is their point of view, guys. I'm not saying this is my point of view, I'm not saying this is right or wrong, I'm just saying their point of view. I'm just reading through this article, their point of view, okay. The fact of life is that safety on board of an aircraft is highly dependent on the human factor, she added, okay. So guys, this was the article, okay. I hope you enjoyed this article. I hope you now, you actually listen to this article with open-minded, okay. From my point of view, guys, what I really think is that we don't have to underestimate technology. From my point of view, this is purely my point of view, okay. We never have to underestimate technology and improvement, because as you can recall, in the old days, the Airline Jet were required to on board 3 pilots or 2 pilots and 1 engineer. Now we've got 2 pilots, okay. What I've seen throughout my life experience and career is that we don't really like changes, okay. When there is a change coming, when there is a new procedure, something new, we don't really like it, so we try to reject the changes, okay. So at the moment I'm against these type of things. However, as I said, we don't want to underestimate the power of technology and improvements, okay. So we will see what happens. What I think it is very important is that if we move into this single pilot operation, the commercial, my question will be, how can a first officer build up the experience to be a captain one day? Because I mean, a captain is a past first officer, a cadet, okay? Every captain, nobody born as a captain, okay? We all went through the career, so we joined an airline as a cadet, then we became first officer, then we became captain, okay? Always during this path we've always been checking, okay? We've done simulators, line checks, medical examinations, psychology tests, and so on. So if throughout the career you are suitable for a captain position, then you start to do your captain upgrade, and you have to pass your captain upgrade. So it's another test. So there are multiple tests while flying in real life. So my question is, if we move into this single pilot, it will be very interesting to see how a first officer build up their experience in order to become a captain. But again, guys, I'm nobody, okay? I'm just a very humble pilot, okay, that been flying around. So what I see is that we have to keep an open mind, okay? And we don't have to underestimate the power of human beings, you know, of our ability to grow and to improve, okay? So guys, I hope you enjoyed this new type of video with this article. If you have any question or anything you want to discuss, leave a comment below and then we do some discussions. And you can go as well to PILOTCLIMB.com, where you can subscribe for free pilot training content. I wish you a great day and I'll see you in the next one. Check, we can set 7-0 please.